call the meeting to order of the Walpole Board of Sewer and Water, April 24th, 2023. We have an agenda this evening. First thing is the abatements. We have some abatements?
None.
Okay, we have no abatements. That's a record. Superintendent's status.
Certainly. So last Friday, we had a minor main break on Hoover Road. On the 6-inch main, it was a circle crack. They jumped on it and fixed that quickly. We have analyzed for PFAS for the Delaney plant for the quarterly sample this month on the 10th, and it came back at 15.5, which is right in line where it's been. The work on roads now is complete with the exception of the service tie-ins. They've begun South Street. They've got the first 1,600 feet disinfected, pressure tested, and tomorrow, and they did sample collection as well today on that second. And they'll be doing the next 1,700 tomorrow as far as pressure testing and disinfection.
That PFAS, when you say 15.5, what's the target we have to try to get to?
We want to be less than 20 parts per trillion.
Okay.
Historically, it's been right around there, sometimes a little lower, sometimes a little higher, but that's in tracking with past
It's
history.
not that we want to be lower than 20%, we do want to be lower than 20, but we have to be lower than 20.
Right,
Well, yeah.
It's a mandate.
yeah, that's the limit. Last Wednesday, we had a sanitary survey performed by the Mass DP. This is a routine thing, done every 3 years. It went very well. And other than that, still doing routine tasks and maintenance.
Okay. Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman, if I could.
Thank you, Scott.
This gentleman is here for correspondence that's to be covered under Old Business 3. Rather than to keep him, if you could move him up to discuss the sewer connection at 260 Summer Street.
Sure, be happy to do that. We'll take the old business out of order on item 3, 260 Summer Street.
If you remember, Mr. Chairman, this came before the board a few weeks ago or so. And there were some clarifications to the plans that the board had requested.
Okay.
Those clarifications and revisions have been made on this plan, and he's here to explain.
Very good. Thank you.
Right here, okay.
Sure.
Good evening. My name is Jim Burke. I'm a registered professional civil engineer here in Massachusetts. I'm the owner of the company, DeSalle Burke Sala, office in Quincy. We prepared these plans for Andrea Zuka, who owns 260 Summer Street. And she subdivided the parcel into 3 lots. The existing home was originally serviced, is serviced by the existing septic. And with the additional lots, we felt that extending the sewer from an existing sewer manhole at 240 Summer Street, about 229 feet westerly up Summer Street would provide appropriate service for the 2 new lots, as well as what we expect to be a failed septic in the existing home. Level ledge in the area, so the soils aren't that good for sewage disposal. We felt the soil would be a solution for that situation. There's also a 1.5-inch force main that goes about 160 feet further west on Summer Street that provides a service to the 3rd lot. It also provides a service for a lot across the street, which is shown on the plan for future use for the 1.5-inch line. The 1.5-inch line, I would imagine, if you were going to be designing the BE1 system, just a simple open cavity pump.
Grinder pump.
Yeah, they're a good product. And we've also shown the water surfaces for the new lots on these plans. Given that we're going to be doing a mill and a paved curb to curb for the parts that we disturb. So once we pave that, we want to make sure that we're not going in there and putting caps. So we put the water surfaces on the plan as well. The invert at the gravity line is at 5 feet. It's right at the crest of the hill. So that soar is about, the gravity soar is about extended as far as it can go at that point.
So, okay. Any questions, Patrick?
Well, yeah, this is hard to see. Scott, does the,
Here's a bigger plan.
okay, does the town have any issues with this at all?
Not that I know of. I believe all the issues have been addressed.
Huh?
I believe all the issues.
The town engineer, do we have his report?
Yes, it's in the packet.
And everything in that report has been addressed?
Yes.
And just to make sure, we're talking about 4 lots?
3, one existing home and 2 new lots. We figured 4 bedrooms per lot.
There's a house here.
20 gallons per day.
Yeah. And each one of these lots will be serviced by its own connection?
Correct.
Right, okay. And the one across the street, none of these will be connected to each other?
No.
Right, they're all separate? Okay, that's what's concerned.
The house is pretty much up gradient from the lots.
Excuse me?
The house is pretty much up gradient from the lots for the
Yes.
topo? Yeah.
Yeah, the topography is, lot 2 is a lot higher than the street. You know, it's probably been, I'd say 20 feet. If I remember correctly, the existing home is also significantly raised above Summer Street. Lot 3, we'll have to go see conservation when we go develop that lot. And we're well experienced with dealing with all conservation commissions throughout Massachusetts, and I look forward to that.
Yes. No comment.
Okay, then, this is a sewer extension. So I will move that we have the town administrator issue this extension.
Okay.
I second it.
Okay, moved and seconded for the town administrator to,
Well, that's how it goes, John. We actually, that's still the policy?
Yes.
Okay, just to make sure, because John was, do you have a problem with that at
no,
all?
no.
Oh, okay.
It's used a local authorization because of the size of the project. It does not need to go to the DEP.
Right, okay. All right, moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 300.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
So that, who's taking notes today?
I have notes.
Huh?
I have notes.
It's to authorize the town administrator to, extend this, so.
Okay, back to the agenda. Request for comments on 965 West Street. And this is,
Here we go.
Scott was just mentioning that we had looked at this before. This is a 2-lot subdivision that's
Okay.
being waived.
It's these 2 lots here, right?
Let's see,
I
yeah,
think
yeah. And they have
this is the cul-de-sac they're building. And the town engineer has looked at this,
Yeah, I think what's applicable to this board is that they're gonna be putting in wells for water service.
they're putting
and-
in wells?
Yeah, wells, and also on-site septic systems.
Wait, hold on a minute. So, this is an existing house. So are they upgrading the septic system, or what are they?
I don't know anything about upgrading a septic system. The way I read it, they were gonna be 2 new individual systems.
Well, I happen to watch the planning board on this. I think what they were saying is that this is, he's making this a way so he has legal frontage on this lot and legal frontage on this lot. On lot 2 and 1, 2, this is his current home, the owner, and that he was gonna put what they call a hatchet or a tomahawk instead of a cul-de-sac for this other lot, and then they waived that because there was no plans to build on lot 1. He was doing a 2-lot subdivision so he could waive the requirements of building a sidewalk, et cetera. So, is there a letter from the town engineer that just says, you know, just review this, or, because we don't approve septic systems.
No private wells. Is there a hydrant near here? This-
You can look at the map behind you, the distribution map, I don't think so.
965 west, I would say so, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
not
there's,
all along, but
there's a hydrant within, what is it, 500 feet or
I don't
something?
know the exact distance, but there are hydrants along the
Well,
entire line.
Well, the fire chief, I was just curious if he had any comments about these houses being on, you know, a well and not being on a, because usually you'd have a hydrant on that. What do you call it, not a cul-de-sac?
It's not gonna be, they're not gonna build, they file the plan like the cul-de-sac is there, but they don't build it. The Banner Planning Board waives the rights to it, waives the requirements to it.
Okay, so fire engine, how would it turn around if it went in there?
That would have to be addressed by the planning board. In other words, one of their criteria is safety. So that would have to be addressed by the Deputy Fire Chief Barry as to the adequacy. There's a home there now that they apparently service up the same driveway if there were fire.
Right, that's
So-
my comment, it's
Yeah,
just.
no, it's a good comment. You raise an interesting issue.
I-
Because some of these, this is true in North Walpole, there's some very long driveways. You wonder if the driveway, if it doesn't have a hydrant right at the beginning, you know, it's a
Yeah.
concern, not for us, but it's a concern
Well,
for the
just-
fire department.
I just was curious if anybody comment on that. All right, if it has town,
Yeah.
if it doesn't have town water, it doesn't have town sewer,
Seen and noted.
and we don't do drainage, so. Anymore.
Or any less either.
Huh?
Any less either.
Yeah, that's true. He's still, I think, in India, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
then we have the East Walpole Clock Tower.
Thank you, Scott.
I think you guys have seen this plan several times. There were some minor modifications made to the plan, I think one was relative to maybe a parking spot. And I don't remember the building, but it's nothing different. Practically different than the last.
So the clock tower is right here, existing tower
Is that
itself.
a separate lot and everything? Or is that part of another lot?
I think that this is the railroad track. I think they're showing the lot here is this line. like
Okay,
this.
so-
Yeah, then this is lot, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe, yeah, it's a little bit of a dog leg there. And they have an in and out down the street instead of right off of Chestnut. They go down the street and where you come in here and go out there. I guess it's a one-way.
All right, this is, what, I can't read that. What does that say?
Proposed building.
What, Proposed?
Yeah.
Oh,
Building.
they're putting a building next to the clock tower.
Right.
Oh, what's the purpose of that building?
If I remember, it's,
Residential.
What?
I believe it was commercial above, below and residential
Yeah,
above.
small retail space below and residential.
Retail and apartments?
They're not putting the bird nest back.
No, Rocky's newsstand isn't coming back either.
So, now, for your interest, because you like water fountains, the water fountain for East Walpole is right here, right across the street.
That's the fountain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be on, you know.
Rick's
Well,
looking
do you
down.
want, why don't you make a motion, John, to have
I'm not making any
turn it
motion.
on? I think it livens up that whole area down there. But when I first moved here, I was always impressed that that was free-flowing, and it was sort of a nice addition to the town. And then somehow, it got flowers in it.
What happened was the kids kept breaking the spigot off in the middle of the night,
Uh-huh.
and so we just abandoned it because of vandalism.
It's still all plumb though, isn't it?
That I'm not sure.
I think we, I've been a firm believer of either take them down and throw them away or have them work, but
It's historical, I don't think
It's
you
a
can
flower
do it.
pot now.
huh?
It's a flower pot now.
You can't do
It
anything
is a
with it.
flower.
No, we have control over fountains.
But it's a
Well,
historical.
then it should work, John.
Well, no, that doesn't mean it works, it's just an artifact.
It should work or it's not a fountain. It's an ornament or something.
You used to have jurisdiction over horse troughs too, but we don't have any.
That's right. Yeah, and that's, I don't see any water in that.
Okay, so are there any,
Oh, I got a question. Can mules use that?
The horse trough?
Yeah, are they allowed?
Sure.
Okay, just curious.
so
Never know.
this is prepared for Tom Powers Legacy Engineering, Millis.
So what do they want from us?
This is a revised version. We already reviewed the last time.
As far as the utilities go, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing elaborate about it. Nothing has changed in the last 3 plans from the utilities. So along those lines, I would say you really don't have any additional comments. It was just put on there because it was given to us as a revised plan.
Okay, and that building that they're proposing, that already had a sewer connection, is that correct?
Right.
So they won't be paying,
Correct.
right,
And they had water as well.
and, yes, okay, so they exempt from those 2 charges. I got it.
Okay,
But they may not be exempt fully from the charges.
Why is that?
We'll have to calculate what the original occupancy was. If we upgraded it, we changed the sizes, then there will be a cost.
yeah, because that was a restaurant. There you go. Okay, so we'll, what do we have to approve that, or what?
Just say no comment.
Seen and
I would
noted?
say, as the other one, I would say read and noted.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, there were no changes.
Okay, so, Clock Tower, East Walpole, read and noted. We'll move to correspondence. We have, water demand policy.
This is just informational. It's something that we're required to do as part of our water management act permit each year, and this is just indicating the policy is in effect.
Okay, it's the green sheet in your folder, and it pretty much is the same as last year.
Yes,
And it's, I saw it was already in the newspaper, so it's already been
yes.
released to the public. Anybody have any comments on that, or is that good?
No comments.
No? Okay. You can still use a handheld hose with a
As long as it's
spring-loaded
spring-loaded,
nozzle.
yeah.
Okay. That's good. And then we have a revenue report.
You do have a comment on it. The revenue reports looks good. It's already meeting the budget. We have collected $5.9 million and the budget was $6.0 million. So we still have 3 months to go to actually get the water revenue. On sewer side, the YTD is $4.7 million. The budget is $5.5 million, so we are almost there, but still 3 months to go to find the actual numbers.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead.
Sure.
I just have a question.
Sure.
And it's to the administration. What's your proposed water rate that the town administration wants this year? What's the increase?
And that's something that John and Bill, we looked at, and I believe it was 2.5% and 5%.
No, I thought it was one, do you know what it was? 1.8 or something?
I don't have the exact percentages, but once we get the budget finalized, we
Oh,
did come up.
I was kind of happy.
Percentage.
It was below 2.5.
Higher than 1%.
Huh?
It was more than 1%.
It is, but it's not one, it's 1.9 or something. It was below 2.5. But the sewer rate increase was up around 5 or so, 6. I saw that. I had to read that someplace. Did you folks?
I believe we probably provided that information before, just preliminarily, when we were going through the budget process.
Okay.
So those were raw numbers, they need to be refined.
Now, you know, we don't want to go above 2.5. We just don't want to do that.
On the sewer side,
No, the suicide, I understand we don't have much control over. So that, we're at, you know, whatever the MWRA needs, and I think I gave you how much,
right,
yeah, we talked about that.
we'll try to get projected rate increases for the next.
Yeah, but, you know, last year, we had a proposal for 18% increase in water,
Right.
if you remember correctly. I don't want to go through that again with something now outlandish. That's all, I'm just asking if it's gonna,
Yeah,
because I need to prepare myself for that.
and we'll have that number,
Good,
proposed number before town meeting.
all right.
Okay, yeah, basically, as I recall, you had reported 3.7 from your island, and WRA had reported 5%, Scott, to you?
Yeah, we were doing different
And
numbers.
then we added the departments on top of that. So you were approaching 7% on sewer, not on water. On water, you're correct, it was down around 2% starting, and at the highest level, it was either 5% or under 5%. That's what we came up with in our preliminary shadow discussion of pricing. So, all right, okay?
Yeah,
Okay, water production. It's correspondence 3.
Again, the productions are going up year by year. The March was 69, I think it's 69 million units compared to 57 last year. Overall, I think the water usage has gone up. We had a discussion last time that there may be water leak.
Yeah, we're actually going to be doing a leak detection survey this
Okay.
year. We've reached out to a few consultants. They're very busy at this time of year, but we're actively pursuing that. And in fact, it's a requirement that we do a full comprehensive survey every 3 years by Mass DEP.
Okay. Yeah, because some of the numbers are looking way odd, especially for winter months. They went too high. Like the December was 55 to 64, which is huge. Even the January was, it's almost same, 55 to 66. So that looks like a leak, a huge leak somewhere. Otherwise, I think it's okay to me.
All right, are these the billable?
No, these are what's been produced.
This is what's pumped. And
Yeah.
do you correlate that with billable just to see?
We do every year with our ASR. If you compare the actual metered water that's consumed with what you actually look through.
Because that would give another indicator if there's any
Right.
significant
Right, that contributes to your unaccounted for water number.
unaccounted.
And where is that number that, let's say for January 66 is matching how much percentage by billable?
I don't have that month by month.
Okay. Well, like any month, if you have any data, like, if you
I can tell you that over the course of the previous year,
Okay,
it was about 11.2% difference.
okay. Yeah, this is more than 30% difference.
Okay. So we have a policy agenda. Let's see, what are we gonna do
There
there?
were no items for policy agenda, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, well,
Well, I usually talk about the parking lot, that, someplace there. You know, what's happening at the parking lot?
The parking lot itself, there's nothing going on in the parking lot at this moment.
Nothing's going
We're
on?
talking about Jarvis Farm?
Yes,
Right.
there's nothing happening on the parking lot.
What's happening is we're waiting for the survey to be completed. I think I told you before, we hired Market Don to do a survey of the entire parcel, because it's
Yeah.
comprised of 3 different parcels. We want to pull that all together and find out exactly where the bounds are. If you remember, DEP said the proposed location of the parking lot is in a conservation restricted area. We disputed that. They looked at it again and said, well, maybe you're right, it's not in the conservation area. But we need that survey to prove that.
Yeah,
Once we get the survey, we can either move forward or abandon the project in its entirety, depending on what it costs.
yeah, I think what we'd like you to have your staff do, your consultant, Rick, is to look at different scales of parking lot. In other words, not just the, ultimate platinum gold parking lot with every bell and whistle. Give us a couple of alternatives. If we do a basic, some kind of a basic preventive type of berm or whatever, and
Right. I told you there is a proposal to do a best management practice under the MS4 stormwater management permit on that property, as well as over here. That will not be funded through sewer and water. That will be either in the form of a grant or a capital improvement through the town. But that'll help with the drainage situation over there at Jarvis. Then we can build around that.
yeah, because you mentioned the adjacent street is also involved.
Morningside Drive.
Morningside. So, but the good thing is that if there's grants available, Patrick, you can probably get a better parking, a better remedy,
Well,
mitigation to
You
the
know,
situation.
my concern is, if we're going to allow cars to park there, we need to have a place that's safe for the environment. And I think it should be used, for recreation. But, we can't destroy it by having, vehicles that are,
Once we get into the options, as Mr. Chairman explained, we'll be able to get some solid pricing,
Yeah.
good estimates.
I'll continue to vote, against it until we do have a viable, parking lot there.
I have a comment. What are the options? Have you explored the option of putting solar panels in the parking lot, or let's say if you want to put solar panels in all the water and sewer board properties, what are the options can we pursue to get survey done or something?
We have not gone into any great detail with that yet.
Okay,
The town has hired a new energy consultant,
okay.
and we're going to work with her to see if that's feasible for us in practice.
And so do the water and sewer board wants to have solar on, let's say, this building and any other building owned by water and sewer board?
Well,
And
you're talking about solar
policy,
arrays?
yeah.
It's funny you should say that, because one of the former commissioners said that would be a really good idea, because it would have very little impact on the aquifer, and it would generate some capital. So, yeah,
So I don't know if we'd be looking to, would you be looking for
For overall,
generating electricity or just for our own operation?
for our own operation also, because I think our bills are now like reaching $500,000 per year.
Right.
So just to substitute that, and if it is more, then that's good for us also, like, for the town, for the people.
and the reason I think that that's a good idea is that, if I remember correctly, a lot of the field is kind of mushy. You know what I'm talking about down by the tree line? That seems to be kind of wet. Am I right?
Right, 5 or 6 playable acres
Yeah.
on the site are dry. As you get out into the Algonquin gas line and the Eversource right of way, those are kind of much.
Okay, so maybe that's where the solar arrays could go.
Well, the other thing you could do is what the Aggie did, is you could put a solar canopy over the parking lot.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Even the school board did it for Johnson Middle School parking lot. They got approval.
A canopy?
Yeah.
That'd
So,
be
I
fine
mean,
for a
that's-
number of reasons, John. It would keep the rain from washing, you know,
The oil.
Gravel underneath.
yeah, I think it would,
Reduce the stormwater impact on where the cars would be parked.
exactly, and we could treat that less, that flow that would be less.
Right.
In other words, it would, you know, I envision environmental manholes and things like that. Well, you can swamp those within a big storm, but if you had a covering, we could divert that water with pipes into the brook, maybe directly from the solar cells. Very good idea.
Well, if we, yeah, that's a good, if we get you an upland map of Jarvis Farm too, we can kind of see what all the
No,
surface.
I was
Right,
looking
I
for
don't
the
think
all,
we put a
all,
solar array
all
in the
roads.
middle of the 5 playable acres.
No.
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 Basically, someone should do
Yeah.
survey and find out where to put and how much to be put.
I think,
He's talking about this building and some of the
Even
buildings.
this building
that we
also.
have, too.
oh yeah, that'd be a little bit better than
Yeah.
talking in the middle of the field.
It's not just one place, but to find out every place where the water and sewer board has buildings or, land, and just find out where it can be put, multiple panels, so it helps both the department and to the town.
Okay. So under old business, we have a correspondence from the consultant, Weston and Sampson, Leah Stanton, regarding the possible connection, supplemental water connection with the MWRA. And she gives a time schedule there of sort of a chart giving you the different project timelines for different steps, components of the proposal. I would say that it's taken 2 months to do location analysis. I didn't know that was an issue that they need to spend 2 months on. Thought we pretty much knew where the location would be. But the hydraulic analysis is taking quite a few months, from May till November. And I don't, again, quite understand hydraulic analysis in this situation. And the only reason I care about that leg is because they say down here that once they've finished all those steps, they can notify the MWRA about Walpole's intention to move forward with a connection. And I don't like the fact that, she's thinking she has to wait till way over here to do that.
Well, you got the message that I sent out from the meeting, and you know that Burlington has jumped through all the hoops. So they're all set to go. So that means they're
gonna take their
they have
piece.
their portion.
Yeah. So, I don't know if, Scott, you have any comment about the hydraulic analysis, or about why we would wait to preliminarily notify the MWRA? We've notified them ourselves, but I mean, our consultant to formally notify them? What we're doing, I mean, basically, we're not, I mean, we're pursuing this. If the economics aren't right and the town meeting isn't right, at the end of the day, even if they offer to us, we may not go do it, but we certainly want to move forward to galvanize the opportunity for the town, so that if we do want to do it.
So we do the
we're-
information, yeah.
We're on their, not only on the radar, but we're in the queue.
So as far as the timeline and the analysis, I would say, this is the reason why we hired a consultant, and the one that we hired has been through this before already, and they have the experience and the background. So I would trust with what they are saying.
I think by virtue of the fact that we requested information from the MWRA relative to their model, the first thing they're gonna ask is, well, why do you want that? Okay, so I would imagine the consultant would tell them that this is for a potential connection to the town of Walpole. So I think the MWRA is fully aware that we're gonna make that request.
Oh, they're very well aware of
I
that.
don't think they took our letter and put it in a closet somewhere. They know that we're coming, and they know we're committed to this, because we've made the appropriation, we funded the study, we're moving forward with the study, so I really wouldn't be too concerned, John, at this point that, you know, we're gonna lose out. I will talk to Leah and ask her if she can do some kind of formal request.
Yeah, some notification letter, just to let, that shows how serious we are, that we have the Weston and Sampson moving.
I truly believe the MWRA knows that the town of Walpole is serious about connecting.
Well, I'll tell you this, at the open meeting we had at Boston College back a few months ago, the original plan for the southern area, we were not on it. But when she got up to speak about that, and I was ready, but unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to speak because she added Walpole.
Right.
Have you seen that? That's
No,
on.
but I think once they got the letter that we wrote originally, they added us.
Yeah, and I don't know why they ever left us off in the beginning, because, you know, we're adjacent, we have the need, and we are already part of the MWRA, so we have a whole bunch of,
They may have left us off because of the, last time we made the request, the preliminary request in 2018. And then that was abandoned. Because it failed town meeting, it was abandoned, we never came back. So that may be why they left us off.
well, we're on
They
it,
were aware of that.
yeah, we're on it now, and that's official. So whether we accept it or not, that's another story. And how we, and what we accept is another story.
So, it's probably not important that everybody in the town of Walpole knows the nuances of all that. Because the people who even worked on the master plan committee, they don't understand it. They think somehow we're gonna get water from the Neponset Reservoirs, River Association.
What? The Neponset River Watershed
Yeah.
Association is ecstatic over the fact that the commission has requested water from the MWRA.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Because they told me.
Well, I'd like to see that.
And secondly,
In writing.
They would be perfectly content and happy if you would shut down every single one of your wells and go entirely. That's how drastic that they've gotten.
Even though we don't affect the Neponset River.
They say we do.
Yeah.
And we have evidence for 100 years saying we don't. Okay. But whatever he said to you, I'd like to see that as a document. So if he can put what he said to you on paper, that'd be wonderful. Can you make that happen?
Sure. Can ask them
Would
to
you
write
try
a
to
letter.
do that, please?
I can ask them to write a letter of support for us to join the MWRA.
And who are we talking about?
Ian Cook.
Ian
Okay.
Cook.
I know Ian Cook well, and it'd be great to get a document from him.
Okay, moving right,
A letter of support.
yeah, sure. We have, I think I've already showed you the North Walpole Sewer Connection letter. And we had two, just for the, in case anybody's watching, we did have two follow-up correspondences, probably had more than that, but two letters here. One from Mrs. Minkowitz, Carol Minkowitz, and another from Andrew Maxwell. And They're just emphatically reminding us that there seemed to be a consensus at the meeting not to proceed, and they wanted to see that in writing. And so we've responded with the letter. Hopefully that will satisfy these folks. All right, now we did 260 Summer Street, so that gets us to discussion. Any other old business? Okay. Meter to
Oh,
cash?
well, yeah, I do have, I'm sorry. Well, I got it written down here. Our secretary, which we don't have yet. And has anybody applied?
Position has been filled.
What?
Position has been filled
By whom?
by one of the 5 candidates that applied.
Okay, can the board see the applications and the resumes of all those applicants? No, I'm not, no. I want to make a motion, Mr. Chairman. I move that town administration provide us with all the applications and resumes for the sewer and water secretary that they've received so far.
Can I ask for what purpose?
What? That's my motion. I don't have to answer him. That's my motion.
What purpose is it gonna serve?
That's my motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is it already filled or is it like still? But
Well, we thought we'd be involved in
yeah, we
interviewing,
involved-
but apparently not.
Or
And I
at
think
least
Patrick
if
had
it is-
asked to interview
Yes,
the
and you have
candidates.
too.
And even if it is
And then
filled,
you ignored that.
we were not informed that it's filled, so that's still, a bad situation to be in. I second the motion.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Now, we're asking from the town administrator, not from the personnel.
From town administration.
Okay, from the town
Yes.
administrator to provide you with the resumes and applicants for the secretary position.
That he's received so far.
Okay,
I second it.
okay. Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 300. Okay. So if the person was hired, they're not here, though.
Hmm?
He said they hired somebody.
They will be at the next meeting.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Okay, now we have a meter to cash. We have a memo from Bill.
I think Bill's memo was about the monthly billing.
Excuse me, yeah, we have Bill's, we have a meter to cash. Anything on that?
Any update?
Excuse me?
Any update on meter to cash, any issues?
No issues.
Okay.
Okay,
I got the copy, the ICP, yeah. So we want to go to the next topic, which is
yeah, the next
monthly billing.
would be the monthly billing.
Oh, I have some comments on that too.
We can start.
But I think Pradeep, I saw his letter, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And I added some things that I thought would help with the monthly billing. And, one of the things, well, I'll go after Pradeep does his
Yeah, I have first comments, a few comments on monthly billing, like one of the discussion item is monthly billing comments by Bill. He's not here today. He has raised good points about like how the system is working now. This collected all the information. In the world of technology, these are called requirement gathering, basically finding out what is the as-is system, what are the issues with the current system. So these are the correct information which we need to decide, what the new system should look like. The issues what are here, like, they are not able to they always find some meter not working, some manually addressing the issues. These are the very common issues, whether somebody is doing monthly billing, quarterly billing, or whatever billing. The issues are operational issues, not actually the issue related particularly with the technology which generates the bill. Other than that, there was few more comments about the KP system, whether it needs upgrade or not. I think that all the system need upgrades all the time. 10 years later, we may be upgrading something else. That should not stop us from doing correct billing and better billing. Even the billing system gets old. The billing system also needs to be upgraded every 10 to 15 years. The more frequent, it's better. One more thing is the cost of personals. My personal comment, since I'm from technology background, my personal comment is that the technology is so advanced that we don't need to hire new people to do the same job which was needed to be done 10 years back. So that's my personal comment, just nothing wrong with that evolution, because I have seen new systems which can generate millions of bills in less than 1 hour based on the scheduler jobs and nighttime system to system jobs. So that's my, just my personal opinion, that you don't need to hire new people to do the billings. The technology is so much advanced. So that's the comment on the bills memo. I also wrote a comment basically giving the advantage of billing, monthly billing, and the system. One more thing which I found it very disappointed is that few residents have asked for monthly billing. It's not that residents have asked for monthly billing. I think no one asked for the tier system. The family got affected. The tier system was based on the family size. It was put to basically do the conservations. So monthly billing is also needed for the similar reason, to basically help the families manage their budgets and do the conservations if needed. Now the other memo which I wrote is about the benefits. So benefits, the town will be the revenue management. They can have more frequent and timely payments. You can see the budget. You saw the revenue number. We already have our budget number done in the first 9 months. Come the billing time, when we do the rate hearings, we have totally wrong projections. Every last 2-3 years, we are wrong projection because we don't have the correct information. So that's called revenue management. Last year we ran to increase the rate by 10-15%, but sitting now we are seeing that the revenue is already met in first 9 months. So that's one impact where the town will benefit by having more efficient revenue management and basically more better data analysis and reporting. To the staff and vendors, this project is not that you basically do the print and send the mails. It's basically to find out the technology, whether you don't have to mail so many bills. So if the technology is improved, it's very well possible that the public behavior will change to use the electronic payments more, and that's very much possible if we encourage more electronic payments. So the staff cost and other collections will go down when the more electronic payments are made. The current system, we know that the payments are not being basically reconciled on time. I got some printout for my personal check, which was like $530. It took 8 days to reconcile in my account. And if you send the same check to any other utility company, it's the next day. So there is a lack of system to system batch processing which can take care of such a reconciliation. So that's on the basically on the technology side, like we still need to do a lot there. Now, it's not that we need to do it all at once. We need to push it, everything all. It needs planning, it needs communication, it needs staff training, and automation also. Having said that, the best feasible way is to basically offer it to the people who are already enrolled in the electronic payment system. Basically give them option to enroll instead of we pushing them, saying that, okay, now you should pay monthly. People can come to the website and they can enroll. It's not that we push them. That's electronic. And the one more thing which I have noticed is that the 40 cents charge, which is charged for e-check and debit card payments, that's a burden which is stopping the consumer from adopting the e-bill. And I have not seen that any other utility charging 40 cents for e-check and debit card payments. And I started looking around and I saw that even the Norwood does not charge for e-check. So that is the one thing which we may have to negotiate with the vendors to say that we don't want to pay for e-check or debit card payments. The Norwood is free for e-checks, and there is a fees for credit card and $1.125 credit card fees. So that's the summary. The idea is to basically we are already $12 million revenue system. Utility company is a huge in compared to any other town in the US also. The towns don't make $12 million revenue from water and sewer, and we should be looking to basically improve the revenue management and basically improve the customer service and think about the monthly billing.
You know, when I read this, I looked at it, and it's so well thought out, I was incredibly impressed. And you know, I've been saying, monthly billing is a state guideline. It is a state guideline. Second thing is, all the other utilities use monthly billing, and a lot of our neighboring towns do also. Plus, monthly billing, the customers look at their bill, and they know how much water they've used in that month. They know what their budget is. It gives them a chance to not be surprised and to budget for the amount of the bill. So I really think it's a benefit to the town and to the customers. And I'm going to make a motion, and the motion is, I move that all sewer and water billing, he's out of order. He's out of order, Mr. Chairman. Let me finish my motion.
I would ask that the
You're out of order,
I
Director.
would ask that the
Oh, my
courtesy to the other
God.
two members be extended, the same courtesy that was extended to Mr. Mishra when he wasn't present.
Can I make my motion now? My motion is that all that all monthly sewer and water billing to start on September 1, 2023. That's my motion.
Okay, discussion. I mean, I think,
Why September?
I want a date definite. Do you think a better date? I'm willing to amend that if you have a different date.
No, I think
But
the
it should have
discussions so far.
It should have a
Of course,
definitive
yeah.
date.
So let's say you're trying September 1st. If you come back, you know, what I was thinking that if you go as is with the same vendor, same technology, there's no chance
I saw that in here.
Yeah.
But that should start on September 1 or some date definite.
Ye-
Okay, because otherwise, it'll be going on and on and on unless we put a date on this. Now, that date may be inappropriate, and I'm willing to change that date. Do you have a different date?
I think, yeah, we are in April, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months, I think, if you're looking for vendors and all, so
Before we make a vote, I have to agree with what Rick brought up. It would be a,
Yeah, you're out of order
Courtesy.
too, Scott. Let him
okay, I'm out of
finish.
order.
Would you please?
You guys are not doing justice to the department, the operation, or the residents of the town of Walpole by throwing this.
You gotta stop him.
No, but I understand what is being said here, that,
Yeah, but it's
This
out of
is-
order. He'll have a chance to
oh,
say
well,
it.
I'm saying as a commissioner, that this is a major decision. I don't think the votes are gonna change if the other two people are here at the next meeting. I would say this, we continued it one meeting because Pradeep was not here. And we didn't want to vote on it.
Well, they had him doing stuff. That's why we did that, because he was gonna supervise the money part where they would, do the abatements. You weren't here. I suggested that the clerk have oversight over the abatements,
Okay.
but you weren't here, so we didn't do that. That was a different story.
No, but I mean, this is a major decision, the way I see it. I mean, I think the votes are pretty clear here. I need some convincing about this in terms of peer communities and me talking to them about all these problems
I think that was
that
done.
are tailored, that require personal tracking and personal research and amending, going back. Computer, to me, the computer system isn't gonna do it. You're gonna have to do those functions anyway. I think, I believe we should just say right now, vote, that you will vote at the next meeting, and whoever is here or not here, you'll have the vote. I mean, if you two vote on this motion, it'll be 2-1 at this time. I don't know if that passes or not.
Well, that doesn't pass, but that's beside the point. At least you're on the record.
I'm on the record.
Of course you are.
Well,
Right.
all right, what I'm suggesting is we defer the vote to the next meeting.
Okay, but I have a motion on the floor.
You absolutely do. And
I also suggest that we defer the vote to the next meeting.
I can't hear him, sorry.
I suggest that we defer the vote to the next meeting.
Okay,
I
so
do like the
you don't
dates
second
and,
that, my motion, right?
the dates are.
You second it for
prob-
discussion.
Seconds for the discussion, yeah.
When is the discussion, now? Okay, well, let's discuss it. You were talking about our sister towns, okay? And there's Norwood and there's Westwood.
Yeah.
That have already started monthly billing. So I don't
And, well,
understand.
I want to talk to somebody then find out how that
Yeah,
goes.
we should find out,
I
like,
think
you know, how
you-
many.
you already did talk to them, right?
No, you can find it directly from the site. I have their billing formats, I have their vendor's name. The question which is raised is that, the staff, they need more staff. So how much Norwood is using, how many staff Norwood is using? How
Well,
many,
you
those
know-
question needs to be answered.
We can stall on this forever. And, you
No,
know,
we don't have
I've
to
been
start.
talking
No,
about monthly billing.
I agree, but the point is, we
I've been
need,
talking about monthly billing
yeah,
for, even before you were elected, okay? For
okay.
years, because the billing was chaotic. And people would say, why can't we get a bill every month like every other utility? And I got a myriad of answers from town administration all this time. But I'm getting kind of tired of keep trying to get this done and it's not happening. I don't know why it's not happening. What's so hard about billing once a month? Like everybody else does. Instead of,
I
you
think it's a total reorganization of the department here that handles that. And I'm probably in the minority, but I think the town is oriented to quarterly tax bills. And I don't see any reason why they
don't have
want
incentive.
monthly billing on the water. You know, to me, I don't understand. I know the young people do. I remember Glenn Mayfield, when he was on the board, he was wild about it. He wanted to go to monthly billing. You know, he's a younger guy. I don't, maybe he's more computer oriented. I don't understand it. I do know it's an expense, and it's a great displacement at the town hall, because I know they've got shared staff that do this and do that. They work for different departments, and now we're wiping that all out. We're setting up a new system, eliminating certain people, needing up the other expertise. It's not like you just do something like that. And I'm not saying ultimately, maybe we will have that kind of billing in 3 years, in 4 years, I don't know when,
No,
but maybe next year, whatever.
John, when I moved here, we had yearly billing. Once a year they billed. Then they changed it. We talk about change now. They changed it to twice a year. And then they changed it to, I don't know what it
It was
was.
60 days.
Sometimes it was
It was 60
15.
days, yeah.
Who knows? It was like you got a bill, it was a surprise. You opened your mail and there was a water
Random,
bill.
yeah, it was a
You
random.
know, it could be 2 months, it could be 5 months, it could be anything, okay? And that was the chaos. And I think they've kind of gotten it to 4 billings a year, is that correct?
Now it is, yeah, for.
Okay. And so, to your point, they have changed this over the period of time, so why can't they change it to
evolution. I understand.
monthly billing? The
We
change
understand
is
it.
not the problem. I don't know what is the problem.
My concern is that they are sticking to a vendor which is given them, let's say, just take the 40-cent charge example. That vendor is not going to pay off the 40-cent charge unless you change the vendor, isn't it? As of today, if you're going to start a new bid, you may get 10 cents cost.
Well,
So
Pradeep,
that's my concern, like, you can do this very cheaply only if you start from the scratch, basically invite other vendors to basically
yeah, but you
propose
just proven my point here. Let's get it done.
which is true, but the date
You
should
can-
be to basically to get the proposal, isn't it?
You can talk something to death, and this has been going on for years. So I put the motion out there because I want to see some action going forward. If I don't have the votes, then that's fine, but at least I tried.
Yeah, I would say,
I
we'll
would,
bring this up the next meeting and take a vote.
yeah, or in-
And give the others a chance, and also, I'd like to go to Westwood and Norwood myself, just talk to a few people and find out how this is going and what's the benefit, and what do they think about it? Because it's a big shift. I personally don't, it's just another bothersome bill to me. I don't get it, but well, I don't know what, to me, I don't want to automate everything, because then no one's going to have a job. I mean, there's certain jobs that require humanity, require people to think and solve problems and do different
John, how
divergent.
is this talking about jobs? Tell me, I
Well,
don't understand where you're
To,
going
to
with
pay
that.
for this, you're going to have to get different people and get rid of some people.
So you're gonna create more jobs, right?
No, I would think you, hopefully, you justify high-tech and productivity by reducing human input and using technology. That's
I
how you
don't see how
justify
this
it.
affects any jobs whatsoever.
It
Do you use
doesn't.
Brady?
It doesn't. yeah.
Okay, I
Because-
think jobs, it's just a red herring.
Really.
When we say automation, basically automation is to help the current staff to do the same thing without, let's say, being in the office. And the bills are running in the night, they're coming in the daytime and then verifying. They'll still have all these issues, like, 73 people needs to be called, 30 people needs to be followed. But that doesn't mean that you can't do monthly billing. Technically, you can do monthly billing, the issues will be there. The issue will be there in 10 years later also. But the idea is, the timeline is very tough, in the sense, like, if you're looking to change the vendors and all, then it will be difficult to meet the September 1st deadline.
So, do you want to vote on that, or no?
I put a motion on the floor.
Okay, so-
If it doesn't have a second, then it dies. Okay, you
Okay.
don't have to do anything.
So, do you want to suggest a motion that we address this at the next meeting? And
Yeah, so I want to put a motion that we get the other vendors to come and present us with the options for the monthly billing, cost, benefit analysis by July 31st of this year.
Okay, you're looking to
have other
put out
vendors-
contracts
Basically, we have find other options also
for,
for monthly billing,
for monthly billing?
yes.
And I think we need to talk to town administration about that now.
Yeah, of
Now
course.
is the time to get up there and talk, Director. Rise up and speak.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to tell us about contracts for vendors for monthly billing.
There are companies that do.
Would you
do
please
billing services.
tell us about that?
Yes, there are companies that do billing services. We can kind of get a sense of what it would cost us based on the size of our operation, but it would have to go to competitive bid process.
And that's what, that will give us a good idea, like,
Yeah.
you know.
And Scott, do
We could
you-
certainly get unestimated cost. Pradeep has been passionate about this since he was elected, even before, since he was elected. So I fully understand where he's coming from. Okay, it's not something
Just a
that can
disclosure.
happen like overnight. It's just not as easy as pushing a button. It's not that simple.
Just,
Well,
Something
can we get, but I think what he wants is a couple more vendors to come in
Yeah.
and nail them down specifically to
We can-
our metrics so they can give us an idea of what it will cost and how it will operate.
We can do that. And I think if it's gonna happen, or if we're gonna attempt to make it happen, it needs to be done in a collaborative effort between the board, administration, and whatever third party we use. And you need to include your finance people.
okay. Scott, do you have any input to this?
I agree. Like Rick says, if we're gonna be doing
Agree to
this-
what?
I agree that we can get these vendors in here, and it has to be something that we're all on the same team.
I think you need to set up everyone for success, you gotta make sure the resources and all the department are there, not just make a date and, without supporting the whole department as a whole. That's my point.
You've heard of red lines, right?
Nothing is impossible. Anything can be done. Okay, given the right resources, and it can be done. I agree, but at what cost and at what benefit?
Well, that's what Pradeep has written out here. Have you seen this, by the way?
I have not.
I'll
Okay,
forward it.
well, you need to see this.
I would suggest we put it back on the agenda along with
And-
this thing and
And
discuss it all again.
he has it all spelled out, and it makes, very good sense.
I'm sure it
of how
does. And
this
like I said, he's
happens.
been passionate about it since day one.
I
We
would,
respect that.
I would entertain from Pradeep, if you want to make the motion that we're gonna, through the staff, we're gonna get some other vendors in here and get more detailed proposal on this within the next few months. What are you saying? What would be a date like?
By end of the July 31st, we get the vendors to
Okay,
propose the monthly solution and the cost benefit analysis of it.
okay, well, I'll second that.
Let me hear the motion, please.
We, through the staff, to the
The motion is
superintendent,
to do what?
to get the vendors to, for the monthly
What do you
billing,
mean, get the vendors? You mean,
vendors
you
proposals,
mean put out a
demo proposals,
a
yeah, put out,
proposal, put out for
Not
request?
RFP, but
What?
bringing vendors in here and giving a specific profile of our
How you
department.
gonna get these vendors?
Gonna call them, invite them in, tell
Well,
them,
how do you, where's the list of vendors?
they will propose them.
Town administration, you want town
We
administration
can
to
get that-
do
we can
this?
get that through Mass Water Works network.
and
So
Westwood
you're
and
asking,
Norwood.
you're asking town administration to do this, right?
Who are, like superintendent, town and, yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, so you want town administration to generate a list of vendors
Who
and,
can-
and to
Appointments.
come before us
Yeah.
and offer,
Monthly billing.
and tell us what they can offer
Yes.
For Will.
For monthly billing.
vis-à-vis monthly billing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I seconded that.
Shall we vote?
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, 300. Okay, thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Pradeep. And we want our brethren commissioners to feel involved in this. They'll have plenty to say. Okay, let's see, what else here?
We're done.
Are we?
We're done.
Anybody have anything, any other issues? No? Oh, town meeting, well, we're not gonna meet before town meeting.
Town meeting is next Monday, week from tonight. So.
Did we collect our vote for the budget?
Is the game plan to do a report to town meeting on the WRA connection? Or do you want to wait until the fall?
Well, in discussion of our articles, I suppose I could just mention that we have a consultant on board and that's proceeding. I don't want to give a presentation, but just mention the fact we're exploring that avenue along with others.
Is this gonna be report? Is it like last meeting, I did a report. Are you gonna do on this meeting concerning MWRA?
Well, yeah, if you want to call it a report, you can call it a report.
Well, that's what town meeting does.
Yeah.
It says any,
Well, I'm just saying, we have a chance to present our motions and to,
No,
explain-
this is,
I know, that's different.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to go to that extent.
so you don't wanna make a report.
Well, it'd be a brief one.
Well,
You know, so I wanted to get the information in front of town meeting again, keep it at top of mind, that this ball is still going down the roadway. However I can do that, I will. I'll speak to the moderator.
yeah,
I think since
I gave them,
appropriate-
I actually gave them my report. And I said it's gonna take, 3 minutes or whatever, so.
Okay.
Do we need a vote on the budget for the town meeting? Because we
Yeah,
never did.
we could reconfirm our budget. There's 4 articles, but only 2 are really,
Correct, only 2 are action articles. Those are I don't remember budgets, I believe Article
6 and 8.
6 and 8. 6 is the water budget, I believe, and 8 is the sewer budget.
Let me see.
7 and 9 are no action.
Yeah, I can read you. 6, for the water department, it's giving personnel services $1,101,814, and expenses not $1,993, and then debt service. So the total budget's 4.808. 4,808,000. And the retained earnings that we're not doing anything with is $1,081,000. That's Article 6. You want to vote to support Article 6? Is there a motion? I'll move it.
I second it.
Okay, moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, 300. And the same with sewer, Article 8. We've got personnel is 326,973. Expenses, we have, big one is the MWRA, which is 4,719,000. And then we have the septic facility for 25,000, and sewer operating at 230,000. Total expenses, 4,975,000. With a debt service, that gets us to a total budget of 5,379,768. And we'll pass forward the retained earnings of 1,283,000. Okay, is that good? So moved? All right, so we voted 300 on Articles 6 and 8 for town meeting. that we don't need to say anything about
No, I
that.
think that was just reaffirmation of the previous one.
Yeah, no, this is this is what people are gonna get. Okay. So that, I'll entertain a motion to,
Move to adjourn.
okay, moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed, thank you. Appreciate it.